This was all about learning the behavior of oregano and it teaching us. Now I had another plant and it was ruta. Yeah. And we grew ruta for 3 years and we had to replant it every year because it would die. It would die every year. And it would just grow absolutely beautiful. And then we would harvest and it would start to grow and then it would just die. And it was expensive because we're bringing the plants all the way from the Indy Mountains by Riobamba. And planting it, so we're paying 50 cents a start, and it takes 20,000 to plant 1 hectare. Okay, so it becomes spendy. So I said, okay, we got to figure out how to plant it. Well, I was out driving one day and looking at some other land and property just 10 kilometers west of here, and I was on this little country road, like coming into here, and I see this big ruta plant in this lady's driveway. So I turned around and I went back and I'm taking pictures of this big ruta plant that was this tall. And she wanted to know what I was doing. And I said, well, I'm amazed at your ruta because I'm trying to grow it and it keeps dying on me. And she said, oh, you can't kill this ruta. Okay. But I'm just 5 miles from you. We're in the same climate, same elevation. And I said, could I come back tomorrow when I have more time and study your ruta? And she said, sure. So I went back the next day and I just sat down and I just watched it. She came out and asked me what I was doing. I said, I'm talking to the ruta plant. Well, she knew the green goat lost it. So, and she went back in her house, kind of like, oh yeah, sure. Come back out a little while later and she said, well, what's the ruta plant telling you? And I said, well, I'm learning. I said, it's telling me a lot. I said, see, the ruta is from the mountains. And I says, it doesn't like low elevation. And I says, the thing it doesn't like is it doesn't like this direct sun. And it doesn't like a lot of water at one time and then no water. It likes it more consistent. She says, you learned that just from sitting there? And I says, yeah. And she said, well, what do you mean it doesn't like sun? I said, well, look at where it's at. You've got this great big huge canyon tree growing right over top of it. You've shaded it. And she says, oh my goodness. That's why when I move the ruta out in my garden, it won't grow.
In this part of their health and figuring this out.
Oh, so, Gary.
And
Gary. You know what? Why don't you just talk to someone who knows how to grow that plant? I don't know what to tell you, but that's okay.
Right.
Hey, live chat. Hello, welcome. We're about to read more sass going on in these transcripts. Sky, Mermeow, Deanna, Avery, Christina, hello. We've been reading Young Living for several weeks now. We're into the cross-examination. We're about to go into the recross examination. Everyone's still talking to Rob James, who is still a doTERRA top rep, which is pretty interesting.
There's no good guys here.
There's no good guys, even though sometimes it feels like you want to pick a good guy, and it's hard to say like, oh man, they're both MLMs. But plot twist, spoiler alert, this has already happened. The case was already ruled in favor of doTERRA. Oh, I need to put my little overlays on. Can I do it now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sky made us some amazing little overlays, and they're so
Thanks,
cute.
Sky.
Let me go ahead and let me open them up in Photoshop real quick. Kat, if you want to introduce yourself to the live chat,
All right.
and I'm gonna try not to take too long. Okay.
Yeah. My name is Kat. I'm licensed registered dietitian nutritionist, and I focus in on talking about nutrition-related MLMs, other fear-mongering nutrition claims, scammy kind of things related to supplements, dietary habits, meal plans, things like that. Things that are kind of scammy, in my opinion, I like to talk about. And I do virtual coaching as well. But that's been a little bit rough right now because of my little one.
Oh.
Yeah. But I am getting a part-time nanny hopefully this month. So
Sweet.
it'll get easier. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I'm DC. I'm an MLM dropout. I am a graphic designer by day and insomniac by night. I talk a little bit about everything on my channel, and we're doing the Young Living thing. Kat didn't know she signed up as a brand partner in Young Living.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that.
And I knew I mostly knew what I was doing. I was trying to get a discount. I was a kidnapper, but I ended up being an active leg for my upline, meaning that I earned commission from my downline. I was stacked into by my upline. It was a whole thing. And Ceara, aka Mombie, gave us these transcripts to look at. She is a MLM activist. She's an amazing author, blogger, writer, and she does a lot behind the scenes, and she gave this to us. So it's been really interesting so far. Highlights, if you've missed it, Gary Young moonlighting as a doctor, but he said he wasn't. He was just part of the surgical team in Ecuador, forcing. We haven't read this part, but having his Young Living employees watch his surgical videos, removing gallbladders and other things that they had to watch when they were a part of Young Living, applying or inserting essential oils into inappropriate parts of the body with non-medical material. Just
Pen.
A pen, yeah.
We haven't got to that yet. I'm really excited.
And apparently lots of his employees were possessed by Satan. And so that was also interesting, but in his words, not religious environment, but a spiritual environment. So we're playing word games. He played word games, it seemed like, all throughout his testimony, and we had a good, kind of a lighthearted moment, giving him
the baby snark voice when we read his testimony. So,
polite demon lawyer might come out for this. We just need to figure out who's going to be. And we may do that to doTERRA, so we don't forget that they're both not
right.
the good side. let me get Sky's little overlays in here because they're so cute. She drew 3 different drawings of lawyers battling it out with essential oils, so it's great. So I'm gonna open that up. I just need to get it in the right spot because it's StreamYard's not like Streamlabs where you can move things around. It has to kind of be in the correct spot. So
do you like StreamYard better?
Yeah, I like OBS or StreamYard a little better just because you have more control. You can move things around, but I don't know yet how to stream with multiple people in Streamlabs. I still have to look that up. I know that some Kia's World does it, I think, in Restream, but I haven't. I'm too busy making technical mistakes that I feel like I need to stay in my lane and get good at this a little bit. So
I feel like you're very good at it already.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. Let me see. Where is this file? Should I have gotten this ready beforehand? I should have. Sorry. Here we go. So here's the first one. And I'm going to try to make it so it doesn't cover Cat because I want to put it on the stream to have it up here. Okay. So I'm going to take the background off. It's going to be transparent. I'm just talking out loud because this is what I do. Okay. Quick export. Desktop. YL. Desktop. Okay, save. All right, import. Wrong.
Hey, Harper.
Hello, everyone. We're trying to show y'all some cool stuff. Let's see. Brand. We want to do an overlay. Add. We can't keep this up when we have the little tabs on, but we can show y'all. Oops. Okay. We can have it in the corner when we don't have anybody up. Okay. Look, there's two lawyers, and then there's the doTERRA lawyer has lost his shoe, and he's about to smash the Young Living lawyer with the doTERRA bottle. So that was amazing.
That's adorable. I love that.
I'll just pop in the big ones real quick, and it'll just cover us, and we'll take them off real quick, and then we'll start.
That's fine.
Promise we'll start. Okay. And then they have these two bottles fighting. It's gonna cover us up.
Sky, you did amazing on those.
Yes. This one literally is my favorite, but the next one's super funny too. It's two essential oil bottles fighting with each other. So it's Lang Lang, and I think this is lemon essential oil, but they're fighting, which is hilarious. And then I'll do one more. And then these guys are throwing essential oils at each other in the courtroom. I just did the transparent for the overlay, but Sky just threw these together for fun, and she's so good. So he has a little essential oil in his hand, and he's throwing it at this is the Young Living guy. So oh my gosh,
that's adorable.
This one's so cute because like they've been hustling, so it's like I don't know, it's just cute. Okay, let me get my iPad connected to the internet. It's connected. It's just okay. Aircast. Start broadcast. Yes. Okay. 192. HTTP 192.1.1.32. Yes. And we're so close. Okay, we're ready. Let's get this. There we go. All right. Screen mirror is up. And I think we're at this point. So let me share screen. There we go. Oh. Here we go. All right.
Awesome.
So live chat, we can be I like the essential oils boxing the best, but they're all great. Yes. They're all so good. We were on cross-examination of Mr. James, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we're at Mr. Gaylord now, correct? I think so.
Yes.
Because I feel like we stopped at 233 the other night because I was trying to count up when you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is the page before? What does it say?
Oh yeah, let me start with that last exhibit if you wouldn't mind putting that one back up for us, please. 161. And then I said I think he means 1161. So I think we're on the right page. I think 233. Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Do you want Mr. Gaylord to be polite demon lawyer voice, or how should we make this fun? Or should we try to do baby snark for Mr. James? I mean, not Mr. James. Mr. Gaylord.
Mr. Gaylord.
It's your.
Who do you want to read? We'll start with that because then whoever you read will have to.
Right, because I have the voice mod on my end. I'm really fine making anyone inappropriate, so I'm fine. Playfully disparaging via voice mod. Live chat, why don't you decide? Do you want Mr. Gaylord to be polite?
This is polite demon lawyer, as so named by Dave.
And this is Baby Snark, which was Gary Young, but we haven't read about Gary Young in a few days, so we can do this one too. Y'all have to vote.
I feel like
I like having Gaylord be demon voice. Okay, that's
so the question.
So,
yeah. Okay.
If that's a vote, okay, great. So I'll be Mr. Gaylord.
Okay.
And that's question and your answer. Okay.
I will be yes. Okay.
Do you see that, Mr. James?
Yeah.
That is not an email you sent to Justin Harrison, right?
No.
If you go to the top of that, the response from Mr. Sterling, that is not an email that was sent to Mr. Harrison, was it?
No.
I'm going to try and cut to the chase. In all the communications that you had, and you've been shown today relating to your communications with David Sterling and Mr. and yourself, not once is Justin Harrison included in those emails.
No.
In fact, if we would, I believe it was just shown to you. I believe it was 221. We can pull up 221 real quickly. If you would, this is an email you sent on the evening of February 28th, 2008. If you'll blow up that's the email you sent on the day to David Sterling, David Hill, Dr. Hill, Emily Wright, Greg Cook, and Jeff Carden, right?
Correct.
Not Justin Harrison?
No, I don't think I had his email even.
In fact, the first time you ever met Justin Harrison was on February 28th, 2008.
Yes.
And the first time you ever spoke to Justin Harrison was on February 7th, 2008, the date that you and Gina and Wendy called Mr. Harrison.
Yes, unless he was on a phone call with Carol with a K when I was there.
Okay, and you don't know whether he was ever on a phone call with you and Carol.
I don't even know if it was him.
I think you testified about a prior email where you indicated that Justin had called about a product not being timely delivered.
Yeah.
But it just said, quote, Justin, unquote. It doesn't say Justin Harrison.
Correct.
And you don't know whether it was, in fact, Justin Harrison, correct?
Correct.
Fair to say that Mr. Sterling's coming back into your life and giving you a doTERRA opportunity was a dream for you?
Godsend, literally.
It was an opportunity that gave you a way out.
Uh-huh. Affirmative.
And Mr. Harrison had nothing to do with that, did he?
No.
And if we could pull up Exhibit 35 just for a moment. If you would, blow up the second line there. Who it's from, Rob James to David Sterling. We spoke about this exhibit before. I just want to know, you sent this email to Mr. Sterling on February 7th, 2008 at 9 a.m., right?
Yes.
You did not have a conversation with Mr. Harrison until later that day?
Correct.
And if you would, move down, go to the fourth paragraph, fifth paragraph, can't count. And that first line says, quote, Gina, his wife, is fully aware now of doTERRA and is, to say the least, very, very excited about the new opportunity, end quote. Do you see that?
Yes.
And do you have any recollection of how Miss Truman became aware of doTERRA?
Wendy, I'm sure, contacted her after we first went up to the first meeting at Noah's and told her about doTERRA.
And it's your understanding that Gina said, quote, I'm in, unquote?
Yeah. My impression was that she was really excited and wanted to be in right then. I think subsequently I learned that she was kind of holding back a little until her brother was on board.
Until she talked to Boyd?
Yeah.
Let's pull up real quickly Exhibit 39. And if you don't mind, again, if you'll highlight the signature line that this is from in the middle of the page. Again, this is email you sent on February 22nd, 2008, correct?
Yes.
And this is 6 days before the meeting at Gina's house, in which your wife invited most of the attendees, right?
Correct.
And if you would, turn just to page 2 of 39. If you blow up that middle paragraph, I think Mr. Smith asked about this. By this time, though, at least you understood, or at least believed there were 3 more doTERRAites in Gina, her daughter, and Boyd, had at least expressed a significant interest in being a doTERRA distributor?
Yes.
This is, again, before the February 28th meeting?
Yes.
I want to clarify one thing. You were asked questions about your smooth move. Do you recall that testimony?
Yes.
And actually, Mr. Harrison was a target of that plan of yours, right?
Yes. It was never really a plan, but yes.
It wasn't really a plan. It was more the idea that you were trying to show off to David Sterling.
Wow. I think it was aspirational, and we're trying to, show off to David, show him our big dreams.
Did you understand when you spoke with Mr. Harrison on February 7th that he was still employed by Young Living?
I think I knew. I'm not sure, I should say.
You don't remember?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it correct to say that you introduced Boyd to doTERRA?
Yes.
You get that honor, right?
Yeah. That's the feather in my cap, I guess.
And you wanted him to be in your downline.
Yes.
Other than Gina Truman, and I think you thought maybe Tom or Boyd or Sandy, and Sandy might have been at Gina's house on the 8th. You don't recall any other Young Living distributors being there.
Like I say, the Huberts.
Oh, the Herberts?
Yeah.
Okay. I meant the 28th. If I said the 8th, my apologies. I meant the 28th. Your answer would be the same?
Yes.
Did Mr. Harrison ever ask you or tell you he wanted you to solicit Young Living distributors on his behalf?
No.
You were asked a question? Oh, gosh, forgot to put my overlay on. Okay. Did Mr. Harrison ever ask you or tell you he wanted you to solicit Young Living distributors on his behalf?
No.
You were asked a question about a number of individuals, including Sherry Ross. Do you know who Sherry Ross is?
No, not now.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. And the court said, Mr. Berger. Mr. Berger responded with, would you like me to finish up, Your Honor? The court said yes. Mr. Smith?
Mr. Smith, the good news is I have nothing, Your Honor. And then
Mr. Gaylord says, don't promise.
And the court said, I'm going to hold you to that. Mr. Berger said, they will.
Oh, I forgot Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith says, I'm sure someone will. My highlighting skills are subpar at best.
Great.
Oh my gosh. Live chat. Oh, so this is the redirect examination. Let me see if I have a swoop or something, because I don't think I do. Cross-examination. Do I have a recross by Mr. Smith? Oh, recross by Mr. Berger. I don't think I do. Oh, well. I don't have a swoop. That's okay. That's okay. We have no swoop. We have this swoop that is not anything. That's it. It'll work for now. It'll work for the swoopableness of this.
Fancy swoop.
Yeah. Live chat. This is wild. Okay. So redirect examination by Mr. Berger. Young Living.
Okay.
Let me see. Okay. So they're directly. Okay. Great. Do you want me to be Mr. Berger, or do you want me to? Oh, I can be Mr. Berger too if you want. I'll just use my normal voice.
Okay.
If you want.
All right. That works. Or do you want me to? It's more reading.
That's okay.
You want me to do it? Oh.
I can do it. It's okay.
Okay.
If you could just be the other voices, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mr. Berger, could you turn to Exhibit 1161? Do you still have that, Mr. James?
I think so.
Your Honor, is it okay?
Yes, the court says yes, that's perfectly all right. And back to Mr. Berger.
Okay. If you could look at, do you have that? Do you see there's 2 emails, Mr. James? One that you wrote to Mr. Sterling on March 6th. That's the one at the bottom?
Yeah.
And so, counsel, Mr. Smith asked you some questions. And could you, Susan, blow up the 3rd paragraph in that lower email, the quote, I told Carol, end quote, 2nd paragraph? Do you remember, Mr. James, Mr. Smith asking you questions about this line a few minutes ago? Quote, I told Carol I've been to 3 doTERRA meetings now, and there were no slanderous things being said, end quote.
Yes.
Do you recall where those doTERRA meetings were? Were they in St. George, the 3 doTERRA meetings?
I couldn't say for sure. I don't recall. Sorry.
In speaking about recollection, counsel asked you some questions. You gave some testimony about your memory and that you've had some strokes that impaired your memory, correct?
Yes, sir.
I believe you testified that your memory is hit and miss, correct?
Yes.
Oh, this lawyer is making me so mad. Okay. There are certain things that you don't remember, but there are certain things that, in fact, you do remember, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so when we've asked you questions today and you said that you couldn't recollect answers, you were giving us truthful testimony, correct?
Yes.
And when you did recall answers, you recalled that testimony was true as well, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Could you turn to Exhibit 110? That's in the smaller binder. Yes, towards the back.
Okay.
Are you there? Okay. Do you recognize Exhibit 110 as an email exchange between you and David Sterling dated February 1st, 2008?
Yes.
Your Honor, I move admission 110.
Mr. Smith says, objection, it exceeds cross new area. The court said, if you could direct me specifically to the portion you're...
Yes, Your Honor. Page 2 under the heading, quote, thought to, end quote. That's the last line there.
The court says overruled.
Mr. James, this is Mr. Berger speaking. Mr. James, if I could turn your attention to page 2 at that email exchange, this is the email from you to David Sterling sent February 1st, 2008, correct?
Yes.
Do you see that at the top? Then if you see under the heading, quote, thought to, end quote, boy, that's a little small. I'm sorry about that. Let me just read it for the jury. Quote, my quick wit is not, end quote. I think that's a practical joke. Let me just read it. Quote, my quick wit is not what it used to be. It's more of a dawdling. That's my BBE brain bleeding episode. It was after I laid down last night that all the great questions and clever answers came to me. Kindly understand that the still trap that is my mind picked up everything, end quote. Did I read that correctly?
Yes, sir.
That was true when you wrote that in 2008, correct?
Yes.
That's all, Your Honor.
And the court says anything else? Mr. Smith says, yes, a couple. Sorry.
Okay. I guess, do we want Mr. Smith to be a demon lawyer too? Or should we?
Or if I can switch, or I can do it since you've been reading a lot.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, I'll be Mr. Rob James. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, Mr. Smith, he says, counsel asked you about 3 meetings. Remember, there was an email, I don't know the date of it, Exhibit 1161. What's the date? 1161, sorry. Can you throw up 1161 when you get there? It may not work. It takes a moment to change my assistant. Anyway, you were there. Anyway, there were 3 meetings he asked you about. There was a reference in there which which may be down for the count. Are we down? In the bottom, he keeps going back and forth. In the bottom of Exhibit 1161, there was a note about, quote, I told Carol I've been to 3 doTERRA meetings, end quote. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And this email is dated March 7th, 2008. Do you see that on top?
Yes.
Are you still here?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No?
I
Okay.
accidentally hit the
Uh-oh.
I think.
I've done that before. I did it earlier with my dad.
All right, 8, line 8.
Yes.
And this email is dated March 7, 2008. Do you see that? Do you see the top?
Yep. I mean, yes.
So let's see if we can put in a time and place the 3 doTERRA meetings you had attended by that date.
Your Honor, I object. This is beyond the redirect. There was one simple question posed about those 3 doTERRA meetings in redirect, and that was whether he recalled where they were. Mr. James testified that he did not. It was that narrow. So this is beyond the scope. Also, we heard that there were going to be no more questions.
The court says, I'll allow it. I trust Mr. Smith will keep it brief. I don't think it does follow up on that question. I think it does follow up on that question. Go ahead.
Mr. Smith, the first... Oh, wait, you're Mr. Smith. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got over eager.
The first meeting you attended, do you remember where that was?
Gina's house.
In Utah. Do you remember one right after Christmas?
Okay, the Coral Canyon?
No, let's go first in time. First in time. Your Honor,
Okay.
now...
You're good.
That's
me to read it? Oh, that's me. Your Honor, now this is leading. He's an adverse witness. He's leading. He's testified he doesn't recall where these meetings are. Counsel is asking the same questions again.
The court says overruled. Back to Mr. Smith. Do you remember after Christmas of 2007, you got an invite to a meeting from David Sterling? That was all the emails we went through. And you and wife Wendy borrowed money to drive up to the meeting?
Yes.
Where was that meeting?
The Noah's meeting?
At Noah's. Was it right after Christmas?
It was after Christmas.
December 29th?
Yes.
We have emails about you asking for the address, and that you said it was either in Linden or American Fork?
Correct.
And the next meeting that you identified you attended was on exhibit number 15. Do you remember an email that was dated January 27th where David Sterling wrote you and said, quote, I want to know if you can come up to a meeting, end quote. Do you remember that email?
Yes.
And you testified you went up to the meeting within a few days of January 27th. Is that right?
Correct.
Where was that meeting?
I think it was the doTERRA offices.
In Orem?
In Orem.
And can I just put it down, since the email was dated January 27th, about that time, more or less?
Sure.
And the next meeting you had was the meeting at Gina's house?
I believe so.
On February 28th, we established?
Yeah.
And that was in St. George, 228, St. George, Gina's house. That is right?
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Are those the only 3 meetings that you had attended by the date of exhibit number 115, which was shown to you? No, 1161. Sorry, 1161. That said, there were 3 meetings you attended. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, Your Honor. The court says, Mr. Berger, there wasn't anything from Mr. Gaylord, right? Mr. Gaylord says, I have nothing.
Okay, redirect. Okay, let me live chat. We're moving through this. We have a few pages to go, but we're going to be able to skip chunks because there's some sidebar stuff that happened. So we're going to keep moving along. Hello, everyone who came in while we were reading. Paging Carol with a K. Yes, that's literally the most oh
You
my
should
God.
make
Hi,
merch.
Corinthians, I hope you're doing well.
This is a special shout out to Corinthians. I know you love the baby snark voice the best. We'll have to do it on another live stream. Maybe Gary Young will come back.
Corinthians is Christina.
You should do merch, something with Carol with a K.
Yes. Hi, Lori. Hello, Fiddlesticks.
Sticker or something.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep moving on. We're on a timetable tonight. So we're redirect examination by Mr. Berger. I don't think I have a swoop for that. Sorry. Well, you know what? I feel like I'm that lawyer where I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, we'll swoop. We don't like that one as much. I didn't make the text one. I'm sorry. Okay, so am I Mr. Berger? Mr. Burger is Demon Voice, or was that Mr. Gaylord? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Oh God. Okay, how
I
long is
think it was Mr. Burger.
Okay, Mr. Burger is going to be Demon Voice, polite demon lawyer.
Okay.
It's all mixing to go around, so we're gonna throw up Mr. Burger, and we'll start.
Oh wait, it was Gaylord.
Oh, Gaylord. Okay. We could just do regular Mr. Burger. That's fine.
Okay.
It just looks like it's gonna be.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Mr. James, do you want to switch back, or you want to read Mr. Burger?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. James. Oh, are you? Okay. Never mind. I'm going to be Rob James. I'm sorry. Live chat. This is just all me with technical difficulties. It's like I don't know. Okay. I'm going to be Rob James. You be Mr. Burger. And I will.
Okay. I felt like a little squirrel. Like
No, you're good. My bad. My bad. Wait. Are you reading Mr. Burger? Or am I
thought you said you were. Okay,
oh, no, I will. Okay. I feel like who's on first? We don't know.
No, I'll go for it. Okay. Mr. James.
No, it does, but like I realized that I need to update it. We showed it for, if y'all missed the live art, this is the amazing art that Sky did. I have to, so StreamYard's dumb. It only allows me one overlay at a time. So just for reading and keeping things sane, we are using these ones, but I'm going to update them so I can have this and the little lawyers fighting for the next stream. So I will make sure to update them. Yeah.
That'd be cute.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Mr. James, as you sit here today, do you remember all the meetings you had, all the doTERRA meetings you attended between January of 2008 and March of 2008? You just testified about 3. Are you sure that's all the doTERRA meetings you attended?
There were public meetings, yes.
So there were more than 3 meetings that you attended, more than 3 doTERRA meetings you attended during the period of January through March of 2008, March 6th of 2008?
I don't believe so, unless they were personal meetings with me and my wife and Gina or something like that.
Okay. So when you're talking about doTERRA meetings, you're talking about a whole bunch of people in a room, correct?
You're not talking about, oh wait, sorry, correct.
You're not talking about you or Dina or Wendy or any other kind of one-on-one meeting that you might have done, correct?
Correct.
Those would have been in addition to the 3 doTERRA meetings council just asked you about, right?
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor, and Mr. James. Mr. Smith says, thank you, Your Honor, no questions. The court says, any objection to excusing this witness? Mr. Smith says no objection. The court says, is he subject to recall? Mr. Smith says, no, Your Honor. And the court says, you're excused. Thank you. We can take a break now. Let me inquire a plaintiff. Is there another witness waiting in the wings? And Mr. Berger says, Mr. Harrison.
Yeah, so let me just go straight to, they're going to do some stuff that we don't need to read about. They're going to argue back and forth about the trial clock. So we just want to go straight to, oh wait, here it is because I forgot. Hold on. The court, Mr. Straight, Your Honor, Young Living called Boyd Truman by video deposition. Okay, this is, sorry, video deposition. We are doing this one. Ugh. All right. This is Boyd Truman. I think he is also still a young doTERRA distributor, but don't hold me to that.
All right. Okay. Mr. Sterling, you are currently a doTERRA distributor. Is that right?
Correct.
And your doTERRA distributorship, does it have a name other than your personal name?
Yes, it's a business.
What's it called?
Truman Global LLC.
And who are the members of Truman Global LLC?
Just myself.
Okay. And how many people total are in your doTERRA downline?
Approximately 45,000?
Dang.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Just as a side note, there were a lot of people who would do their LLCs as a distributor for when I was in MLM.
Yep. They did that a lot in Young Living too.
Oh, I never wanted to do that though.
Oh.
Like keep it separate.
Yeah.
Are there any other doTERRA businesses that have a higher rank than your doTERRA business?
No one is at a higher rank.
No. Now, in the past, were you also a distributor for Young Living? Is that true?
Yes.
And you became a Young Living distributor in late 1995. Is that right?
Yeah, 90 something. Yeah.
Okay. And when you were a Young Living distributor through at least the end of 2008, is that right?
I don't know the date that the attorneys called me from Young Living, but I asked to be removed at that time, and that was sometime in 2008. Yes, probably, yeah.
And why did you ask to be removed as a Young Living distributor sometime in 2008?
Because their attorney that had called, they had called me, had talked to us about cross recruiting, and said that we were in error of our agreement. I didn't understand the agreement fully, and so we talked back and forth, and I said, "Well, I'd like to be terminated." So,
What does that term cross recruiting mean?
as I understand it, it was trying to go from your own team and bring them over.
So, just so the record's clear, take people from your Young Living team and bring them over to doTERRA. Is that right?
Correct.
Who is your upline, direct upline at Young Living?
I think, sorry, there's a mosquito. I think it was my sister Gina.
Are there members of your current doTERRA downline
Uh-huh.
who are also in your Young Living downline?
Yes.
And who were they?
Karina Bracken and Natalie Rigby, and that's all I know for sure.
What is Karina Brackman's rank at doTERRA?
Blue Diamond.
And in the hierarchy, let's say that your double Blue Diamond is the highest.
Yeah.
Where does Blue Diamond then fit?
That she has 5 teams, basically. Holy cow.
Okay.
So not even half as high as our rank.
All right. Natalie Rigby, what's her rank at doTERRA?
Also Blue Diamond.
What's your doTERRA distributor number?
1093.
Who is your upline at doTERRA?
Gina Truman.
And Gina Truman is your sister, right?
Correct.
And did Gina Truman used to be called Gina Olroyd?
Yes.
When did her name change back to Truman? Do you know?
Like right before the divorce was final, I believe. 08.
08. I just don't know when the divorce is.
Yeah, I think it was January 28th of 08. So it was, yeah.
Are you considered a founding distributor of doTERRA?
Yes.
What does that mean?
That means that the first 25 people to hit the rank of gold were able to hold that each month. We're able to have a founding spot and a share of 1% of doTERRA's revenue to be split 25 ways each year. Holy crap.
So there are a total of 25 founding distributors. Is that right?
Yes.
Gina Truman, also a founding distributor of doTERRA?
Yes.
Is Justin Harrison a founding distributor of doTERRA, if you know?
Yes.
And how did you first hear about doTERRA?
Rob James called me.
Who is Rob James?
Rob James is the upline to my sister Gina.
When did Rob James call you about doTERRA?
It was, I think, the 1st of April 08, in the beginning of April 08.
What did he say?
He wanted to meet me for breakfast, and that's about all he said.
And did you meet with Rob for breakfast?
I did. A day or two later, I did.
And where was that?
That was at the Egg and I in St. George.
And how long did you meet together?
I would say an hour.
I think it's your testimony that this is sometime early April 2008. Is that right?
Yes.
What did you talk about during this meeting with Rob James in early April 2008?
He wanted to let me know that there was a new essential oil company starting.
What did he tell you about this new essential oils company?
I don't remember the whole conversation, but he told me about his friend, Dave Sterling, that he had a relationship with for many, many years, and just that the company was new.
Okay. So after that breakfast meeting, what happened next in terms of your introduction to doTERRA, or what would become doTERRA?
I was with my sister at her house with Dave Sterling and Emily Wright.
And your sister is Gina?
Yes.
Truman. What's her house? Where is her house?
That's in Santa Clara, Utah.
And when was that meeting?
That was sometime after I had met with Rob. I don't remember the time.
Do you think it was shortly thereafter?
It was probably a couple of weeks.
And so tell me what happened at this meeting with you, your sister Gina, Emily Wright, and Dave Sterling.
They were simply introducing their company and the line of essential oils to be more potent and powerful. And it was a brief introduction to who they were since I had never met them before. So, and I just sat there and listened.
Did your wife attend the meeting?
No, she did not.
During this meeting in Santa Clara, Utah, with Emily Wright, David Sterling, and your sister Gina, did you determine at that time to sign up as a distributor for doTERRA?
No,
Do you remember anything else specific that they talked about during this meeting?
I don't.
Okay. So after you met with David Sterling and Emily Wright, what happened next in your introduction to doTERRA?
Oh, the next thing I remember was a meeting a little while later that actual essential oils were brought to and to allow us to inhale because we are very much into the purity and whatnot.
Where was that meeting?
That was in, I don't know what they call it, Washington, Utah. It was this little community outside of Washington. I don't think they consider it hurricane, but it was like Washington, Utah.
Where? What was the location?
It was a little clubhouse in a master planned community. I don't remember the name of the master planned community.
I've never heard of a master planned community. Who attended the meeting?
I don't remember everybody. There were some that were going to be possible distributors there. I don't remember from the doTERRA side executive committee who was there.
Let me just ask you some names and see if you remember. Was Justin Harrison there?
I don't believe so. No, he was not.
Was Lillian Shepherd there?
No, she was not. Well, again, that I don't know. I don't know what that Lil was there. The first time I had met Lil and Justin was post April 25th, and this was pre April 25th. So no, they would not have been there.
David Hill, was he there?
I think David Hill was there.
Emily Wright, was she there?
I don't think so. I think it was Dr. Hill and Dave Sterling.
And then you mentioned, sorry, there were some owners. Who else? Like, what other people were there?
I don't know that there were anybody else from the executive team, but there were other people attending, attending just again possible lookers. Most of them I did not know.
Was there anyone you did know as possible
Yes.
lookers?
Yes.
Who were they?
Valerian Giovanni.
Anyone else at this meeting in Washington, Utah, that you know?
I don't remember. I think Gina was there. I don't remember. I think Rob and Wendy James were there. Beyond that, I don't remember them.
And so what difference did you smell in a doTERRA oil that led you to believe it was superior to a Young Living oil?
Oh, crap. You could smell major smell additives in Young Living.
What additives?
Chemical additives. You could smell almost as my wife puts it, petroleum types of smells. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm like shocked that he's saying this right now. Oh my god. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And what oil are we talking about?
Frankincense and wintergreen specifically, and I think she used peppermint that night.
And so it's your testimony that at least your wife could smell some petroleum additive in Young Living's oils?
We could both smell something that wasn't natural.
And the doTERRA executives, they brought with them some Young Living oils to the comparison?
No.
Where did the Young Living oils come from?
We had them.
At this meeting? So you brought Young Living oils, essential oils with you?
We had some with us, sure.
So you smell the peppermint from Young Living, you smell the peppermint from doTERRA. Is that right?
Yes. Oops. Hold on.
Say,
Who's Mr. Harris? Is he purple? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Where's he been? I don't have him in my notes.
I don't even. He's not even.
I would assume he would be defendant because he said say yes.
Okay, we'll just say purple and we'll just leave it. Okay, he's not coming up here anymore. Okay. I think this is a video deposition, so that might have been his lawyer talking to him. So
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Yes.
So Mr. Harris says say yes, and I say yes, sorry.
Based on your smelling of it, you believed that doTERRA's was better than Young Living's. Is that right?
A higher quality, yes.
Okay. So you finish up this meeting and you have the smell test, and your wife takes it home and tests the headache properties. What did you do next in your investigation of doTERRA?
I don't remember, truthfully.
When did you sign up as a doTERRA distributor?
The enrollment went in on April 25th of 08.
Prior to the enrollment going in, had you indicated that you were going to sign up as a doTERRA
Sorry, I'm at my highlighter on. Okay.
distributor?
I don't remember. I think my sister gave us an enrollment form.
What was the paper that you filled out and turned in?
An enrollment form from doTERRA.
An enrollment form from
Okay.
So is it your understanding that you couldn't submit a formal doTERRA application prior to April 25th, 2008?
I have no remembrance of that. I simply handed it to my sister Gina. This is such a brother answer right now.
And
Brothers would have done, sorry.
And the reason I asked that question is you focused on this date of April 25th, 2008. Why?
I think that was the date they started doing business. And then this is deposition exhibit 1 was marked. I'm just going to highlight this
Okay.
in green. And I forgot Mr. Straight, I think, is blue. So sorry. Okay. Mr. Straight.
Okay, I handed you what we marked as Exhibit 1 to this deposition, and it's an email exchange between David Sterling and Rob James. Do you see that?
Yes.
It's dated February, in fact, the 22nd and 23rd, 2008. Do you see that?
Yes.
If you flip over to the second page, this is Rob James writing, and down the middle of the paragraph, the middle of the page, there's a paragraph, and it says, quote, "What she doesn't know is that she has 3 loyal doTERRAites in Gina, her daughter Boyd, her son, and Delmont, her husband, whom all know of and are committed to doTERRA. It's sadly funny. Oh, and my mother-in-law loves you vicariously through me. LOL." End quote. Do you see that?
Yes.
So it's your testimony that Rob James is the person who contacted you about doTERRA, correct?
Correct.
So it's your testimony that even though he's writing this email in February of 2008, you hadn't even talked to him about doTERRA in February of 2008?
Correct.
And how do you know that?
Because it was the first time I talked to him was literally weeks before doTERRA. We enrolled on the 25th.
Okay, so weeks before. That could certainly be in February, right?
I would say 2 to 3 weeks, but my wife and I did not know about this in February.
But how do you know that?
Because within 2 or 3 weeks of doTERRA enrolling on the 25th is when we found out about it.
And then my question is, how do you know that?
Because it wasn't a long period. It was not a long period of more than 2 or 3 weeks.
But again, my question is, how do you know that? You're basing it all off of your belief that April 25th is a date, correct?
It was within literally 2 or 3 weeks that I knew about it.
But you don't have the enrollment. I just am trying to understand how you're so confident of April 25th. That's the only date you seem to remember, and I just don't know why.
That's the date that it shows my enrollment in my virtual office.
Is it possible that Rob James had talked to you in February of 2008?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that far back. Certainly not me.
Let me get the names. When did Karina Bracken come over from Young Living to be a doTERRA distributor?
I believe it was in December of 08.
And when did Natalie Rigby come over from Young Living to be a doTERRA distributor?
About the same time.
Okay.
So pause in video playback. And let me just switch over to Mr. Straight. Mr. Straight. Your Honor, he's about to discuss Trial Exhibit 40, which hasn't been admitted yet. What happens with the video is it pops up on there. We want to move for its admission. We don't want to show it to the jury before that's done.
And the court says, thank you. Appreciate that.
Mr. Straight, this one was also designated by the defendants as Trial Exhibit 100, so it's 40 or your 1030. And then
Do we need to finish the rest of the... Or Mr. Gaylord said, give us a chance, Your Honor. It's not relevant. And the court says, usually at this point, I have it up on my screen.
And then Mr. Straight says, can I hand you mine, Your Honor?
The court says, I think it'll be faster than me trying to find it. And Mr. Smith says, may we approach while you're looking, Your Honor? And the court says, yes, of course. The judge.
So a sidebar was had. Mr. Gaylord. The objection.
The objection is sustained. The court says yes. Mr. Gaylord says thank you.
And then Mr. Straight says, for the sake of efficiency, can we approach on the next one? We're going to have the same issue.
The court said sure. And a sidebar discussion was had. Mr. Gaylord said, same ruling, Your Honor. The court said yes. Mr. Gaylord said, thank you. Mr. Smith says, Your Honor, may we approach again? And the judge says yes. And a sidebar discussion was had again.
Your Honor, while we're working with the marvels of technology, can we read the one piece we had to cut a part of that's going to be, are you guys okay with that question and answer?
Mr. Smith said, just read it.
Mr. Straight, is that okay, Your Honor?
The court says, yes, that's fine.
And then the following testimony was read by Mr. Straight. Wait, are you reading Mr. Straight or am I? I'm like lost track now.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Quote, I think we just flipped during that short little time.
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, Mr. Straight, quote, hand you what we've marked Exhibit 2. This is a letter to you from someone named Skylar Hawker at Young Living. Do you recognize this document?
Vaguely.
Do you remember receiving this letter in or about June of 2008?
I think I received something.
Did you ever respond to this letter, Exhibit 2?
I don't remember if I responded or not. I just remember the phone call from their attorney.
End quote.
Okay.
And so the record is clear. That was a portion of Mr. Truman's testimony that we excised from the video. And the court says, all right, thank you. And the video playback resumed by Mr. Smith. And is it your understanding that Justin is what they refer to as master distributor of doTERRA?
Yes.
Well, what does that mean?
He's one of the first distributors that helps us all because he is our upline, I guess. And
is he, well, when does the term frontline of the company mean anything to you?
Affirmative.
What does that mean?
That means directly that's the first person. Oh, okay. Pause. Video playback resumed.
And back to Mr. Smith. And is it your understanding that Justin is what they refer to as a master distributor of doTERRA?
Yes.
Well, what does that mean?
He's one of the first distributors that helps us all because he is our upline, I guess.
And is he, well, when does the term frontline to the company, does the term frontline to the company mean anything to you? It just
yeah, repeated.
We just read this. That means directly, that's the first person under the company.
I think that's my part. Sorry.
That's your part. Yeah.
Good. So that means directly that's the first person that's under the company.
And is that what Justin is?
Yes.
Is he still that today?
Yes.
Okay. What were you accused of by Young Living? What you were accused of by Young Living was recruiting people who were Young Living distributors to come to doTERRA. Is that right?
Correct.
And isn't it true that you at least did talk to this one person whose name begins with an M about coming over to doTERRA?
No. I sent her that one email and she responded once and it was done and over with.
But you don't dispute that you did, in fact, send her an email asking about her interest in doTERRA.
I do not dispute that.
Okay. And you were trying to get her to see if she was interested in joining doTERRA with your email?
Correct.
So at least as of October 2011, you were still interested in getting people from Young Living to come over to doTERRA?
I made that statement. Yes.
And any reason to say that's not true?
No.
What's the Truman team?
That's everybody that's on my sister Gina's team in her downline.
So you consider yourself on her team?
Yes.
Just mark this. Deposition exhibit number 8 was marked. Hand you what we've marked as exhibit 8. And do you recognize exhibit 8?
As the Truman team website.
Okay. And it indicates Gina Truman first. That's your sister, correct?
Correct.
Then on the second page it has you, Boyd, and Sandy Truman.
Uh-huh. Affirmative, yes.
And there's the end of the video playback. Back to Mr. Straight. That's all for Mr. Truman, Your Honor. I don't know if you prefer for us to break tonight.
Sorry. I think, let me see if this, oh, God dang. Sorry. You can imagine how my schooling went. This is how it went. Okay. I'm just not going to highlight. Hold on. Let me see. There wasn't any further cross or anything. So this is just details. There's no jury left. You may be seated, just housekeeping. So I want to skip because I know you're on limited time today. So I want to. They're arguing about something. We can go ahead and read. I can read this separately on a video and post it to both of our accounts. And they're bringing issues back and forth about rules and stuff. So I'm seeing if there's any other story that's going to come in. Just want to disagree with the characterization. Yeah, they're just arguing back and forth.
Oh no,
Okay.
where's the scratchiness? Where's the
Okay.
scratchiness?
Yeah, we got sidebar discussions. You want to read those?
Sure. There's
Okay.
some scratchiness.
Yeah. Oh, on the darn.
I
don't hear any. Oh, sorry. It must be me. Hold on. Let me exit out and get back in.
Okay.
Let me try. Leave studio. I hope it's not gonna bomb out. Okay.
How long has it been going on? Did it just start? Oh no, it's really hard to understand.
Oh no! Really?
What? How long has this been going on?
Shoot. Not too long. Okay.
Okay.
Let me just listen on my end real quick. Hold on.
Is it still going on? Test. Okay. Not anymore, looks like. I think we're good.
Darn.
Oh no, it was mainly me. Not
Because it was the first time I talked to him was literally weeks before doTERRA. We enrolled on the 25th.
okay. So I think it was me.
Okay, mine sounds okay on the. Oh, I hear some. Hold on. My internet. I think we're having storms. Okay. Hold on. Let me fix my cords real quick. I'm going to go into a different port.
Different, like USB or lightning.
Yeah, I think we have some storms coming in, so.
Okay, I think it's good. Yeah, it sounded like when you're trying to get a cord to work. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well,
Is that better? Live chat?
You're saying it is.
Okay, I think we have a storm coming in, so the internet connection on my end.
Oh.
Little bit. No, it was DC. It was me. It was totally me. I just listened to it on my. It was not Cat. It was me. Surprise, surprise. Live chat will just have to suffer a little bit because I can't fix anything else on my end for now.
I think it's working.
Okay. Cool. All right. I didn't highlight these sidebar discussions, but I can if we can go, how many minutes do you have left? Like 20 minutes?
No, like I said like 7:30, 45, 40.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's like 40, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 35, 40 minutes.
All right, cool. Share screen. All right.
Until I start to hear yelling or crying.
All right, Mr. Gaylord, I think is purple. Sorry, 1 second.
Wait, which one is this one now? Oh, okay.
This is just sidebars. These are all the hidden sidebars that we didn't get to see. And so Mr. Smith is purple as well. Mr. Hawkins is purple. Okay, interesting. Okay, here's the first one.
All right. The court says, is this the aromatic contract that we were talking about?
This is the entire employment file. Now I get to cross-examine because he said he reviewed the entire employment file. I get to cross-examine him and impeach him on whether or not not the controlling thing, because we've always had, but what that agreement is. Did he review with his employers that he says that was performed? It's in this document. It's in this. So I get to impeach him. He reviewed it, so it's admissible.
Mr. Smith says the issue.
Let me finish. In terms of late filing this document.
Mr. Hawkins says they waived it.
They waived it. Second of all, this is a document they've had in their possession. Third of all, they marked it in their Rule 101. As part of our agreement, I was surprised by 101 being removed. So I said, we want to put it in ours. So we put it in our 1294 and preserved all objections except for timeliness. The only objection we have here now is timeliness. That should be excused.
The court says, my memory is there was a stipulation that there wouldn't be an objection as to timeliness. So what other objection is there? Mr. Toth says the objection is to timeliness. This is all related to this designation came it came right before the motion in that aromatic resource management stuff. And the only reason we agreed to it was because we thought we understood the state of the play at the time. When we understood that they were trying to change the state of play, we said, wait a minute, that's not fair. We were trying to be professional and just say, hey, we're not going to object to timeliness if we understood the state of play. If we're now going to take some deviation into the aromatic resource management, absolutely object to it, because they're now trying to get into a theory they're not entitled to get into. The reason they designated it late and asked for us to do that was so that we could have this discussion.
And Mr. Berger says, and we were saying in that discussion that more importantly, or as importantly, perhaps, Judge, that file is real with relevant documents. It's a stack about that thick full of. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything that could be prejudicial.
And the court says, all right. So is the objection relevant? I'm not going to entertain a timeliness objection because that was waived. But if we have another objection, if you're asking me to consider relevance objection or 403 or something, then we can talk about that.
Mr. Berger says, is that me, Mr. Berger? I'm sorry, I'm like losing my mind. Or are you Mr. Berger?
You did it prior.
Okay, I'm Mr. Berger. Sorry, I'm like losing my I'm like losing my place. Okay, it's relevance. It's prejudicial. It's time wasting. There was a whole ton of to designate that entire file, huge amount of documents. Your Honor can flip through it. It's a whole bunch of junk and other stuff from the employment file, and who knows what else they're going to want to do with it. If it were admitted to the jury and sent back with them, what other kind of stuff is in there that's irrelevant or prejudicial? It's a relevancy objection.
The court says if you want to go through for a particular document, the whole file, I'll sustain the objection as to 403. If there's anything in particular, then we can handle it one at a time. I'm not going to have a whole file come in.
Let me respond to relevance. I think it's entirely relevant to the issues in this case because it lays out this is what this witness reviewed. First of all, so what is in it is relevant. Everything in it is relevant. Second of all, it's relevant for the purposes of setting the stage of the employment relationship that they had. He just testified that the agreement that they are suing under contains certain provisions. I get to impeach him on that because the agreement does not contain the provisions that he just testified to. I get to impeach him on that. I get to use this document to do that. So if the court doesn't want me to test the whole thing, I'd like to go through the document and find pages that I can impeach him on. We can bring those documents in, and I can remark them. Quite honestly, we've marked key documents from this file because they asked us to do that. So we have those all listed out. What I want to be able to do is use this because this is what he reviewed. I want him to look through it and find out which is the last document that employment agreement.
Mr. Berger says, Your Honor, that's not relevant.
Sorry. Oh God. This is turning out so bad. Okay, it's so good. Okay. There you go.
Your Honor has made a ruling on that. If Mr. Gaylord's point is that Mr. Young testified there were certain things in agreement that aren't, he can use the agreement to establish those points. There's no need to go beyond that agreement.
To the contrary, he just said there are obligations in this agreement that I'm suing under that relate to certain facts. I get to show him that agreement and show him agreement that shows the actual facts.
Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, he also dated. The date is different. He said these agreements with Harrison were after the Sterling, the ARMC deal with that. He's indicated by his own testimony that he's looking at the ARMC document. That's the last time. The other agreements have no duty. That one, that's the station agreement, has no duty on behalf of Young Living. Yet he testified the agreement he saw had duties. He's now put an issue that he says there was an agreement. He's put the time for the ARMC agreement. It's in the file. If it's in the file, the jury ought to look at all three agreements because that's how that's now the issue they've raised.
You said duties. I'm 5. Mr. Berger. Again, if the date is at issue, the date is on the agreement. They don't need anything more than the agreement.
Mr. Gaylord, it's not about the date, Your Honor.
Mr. Smith, here's something, Your Honor, that's perhaps more important than anything we've been discussing. There is a jury instruction that indicates that Young Living performed all of its obligations under the agreements. And the defendant specifically said they do not object to that portion of our jury instructions. They expressly stated that. This is not an issue at all. None of it. They've stipulated that Young Living has performed its obligations. This becomes extremely prejudicial on top of being a waste of time because they've already admitted that Young Living has performed its obligations.
Mr. Gaylord, they opened the door, Your Honor, when they asked at the very end of Mr. Toss' examination, did you perform all your obligations under these 3 agreements, end quote?
Mr. Toss said, under what?
I forgot to change it. That's okay.
Mr. Gaylord, that question opened the door. These agreements.
Mr. Toth said, I said it was. The only agreements he talked about was agreements that, let's be very clear and be very careful about that. I asked him, quote, did the agreement contain a non-solicitation provision, end quote. He said yes. I said, quote, did Young Living perform its obligations under those agreements, end quote. He said yes. Now, what we now have is there's an attempt to go down and try to open the door to something this court has already foreclosed, which is let's find a way to get into this aromatic resource management company contract and make this agreement they're wanting to make. That's improper. That's exactly what we're afraid of when they started to shift this into this theory. No one here is prepared to deal with that. We're going to have this whole confusion if you come up again. No one's opened the door to it. They keep trying to open the door. You don't get to open the door to something we didn't open the door to. We were very clear about it and direct, Your Honor. And the court says the objection is sustained. As I mentioned yesterday or the day before, I forget which day it is, this involves the stipulations made by both parties. It is prejudicial to walk back these stipulations at this point in the middle of the trial, and we're not going to do it. The objection is sustained.
Mr. Gaylord, can I at least use this to have him identify the agreement that he's relying on to perform under this contract?
The court says, I'm not sure.
Mr. Gaylord says, and let me switch. Mr. Gaylord, I want to know what agreement he reviewed to find a non-solicitation. I want to make sure we're looking at the same document that he reviewed that is the basis of the lawsuit. I'm at least entitled to ask him that, not just have him look through this document and find it. And if he doesn't find it, then I think, whether we stipulate it or not, all we stipulated to is that he entered into an agreement. I never stipulated that it was the binding agreement. There's no stipulation to that. If he can't identify that that's the agreement, I should be able to go into that.
The court says there was a stipulation as to when he left and when his lockout period was. All of that involves the contract that we've been talking about for years, and we're not walking back that stipulation in the middle of a trial.
Mr. Smith says, but the difference is I objected yesterday when he testified he had seen these agreements because I didn't think he had foundation. He then said, quote, oh, I really looked at the file, end quote. He still doesn't have the foundation if all he's doing is looking at the file. And this is Young Living's best evidence as to the document. We get to go inquire as to how he has the foundation to say that's the agreement. They brought him in to talk about these agreements. I objected because how does he not see the Hill agreement, but now he sees these 4 defendants' agreements, and yet he doesn't negotiate them? Don't we get to explore how that foundation is to how he now comes and testifies to the jury that's the agreement? That's the issue.
Mr. Todd says, I can't imagine a more irrelevant line of inquiry once they have stipulated to what the agreement is. Now they want to question whether or not this witness has foundation to talk about anything else. They've already stipulated to what the agreement is. The only thing Mr. Young said in his direct examination, I can show you questions to the court, was, did Young Living enter into an agreement with him? Yes. Did it have a non-solicitation clause? Yes. That's...
Oh, God. I didn't highlight Mr. Gaylord. Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, chat. Toth is blue. Mr. Smith is purple.
What's that noise? Oh. There was like a weird fuzz and then it stopped.
Oh, it's me. It's me. I know it's me. It's the internet. Oh, sorry.
Mr. Gaylord, did you review it? Yes. All I want him to do is tell me whether he reviewed it. Oh, that was Mr. Toth. Okay.
Mr. Toth, that's not a question I asked.
Mr. Gaylord, is it a question he asked him? Look at the transcript.
Mr. Smith says the issue is if he testifies that's the agreement, we get to find out what his foundation is. I objected.
I objected to Harrison.
Mr. Smith says, does that mean he just gets to ask it and I don't get a chance to cross him? Mr. Toth said, that's not evidence. That is not evidence that can prove any fact at issue because they've already stipulated to what the agreement is. Mr. Smith says, it proves he's a liar. It proves he's a liar. Mr. Toth says, it's entirely collateral impeachment. They already stipulated what the agreement is. And the court says, the agreement's been stipulated to, the objection is sustained. I appreciate the argument.
Oh my gosh. That's probably the last one we could read because there's 30 pages of sidebars still left. Holy crap. And they're long. They're long. Oh my god. Live chat. What the hell? What the hell? What the heck? I objected first. Literally, that's how it sounds. It reads super whiny on Mr. Gaylord's part. I mean, obviously, I was taking some liberties, but the way he's saying it, like, I objected. I did this. The judge needs to, like, get a snack in.
The judge needs to go to his daughter's dance.
Yeah.
What was it from the very beginning where he needed to go?
Can you imagine the sidebars in the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial? They were sidebarring all the time. Corinthians is loving the demon voice.
Hi, Corinthians. I'm so glad you're loving the demon voice.
Yeah, it literally feels like a kindergarten argument. I mean, and again, they have to go back and forth. It's
wait, Cat from Vanellope. Which cat? Me?
Yes.
Wait, she's so cute.
I know. You're the best.
I just watched Wreck-It Ralph recently.
Oh.
Yeah, introduced my little one to it.
Oh. These children need some serious time on the naughty step. Yes.
30? Oh, yeah, that was it. I thought age.
I'm trying to look up. I know we missed so many comments. Let's see.
You're asking about your age.
Yeah. Oh, she excitedly said, hi, DC. Oh. Hi, Corinthians. Oh, so cute. Me first. That's exactly how it sounded with the lawyers. Me first. I think I have the wrong chat up. Hold on.
I can't pull up any chat now that I logged out. I can't.
Oh, no. You should log back in. We should get you to log back in for this.
Okay.
Yeah, because my dad can't either. And I'm like, okay, Dad, we're just going to have to log you in because I wish there was a button that said give host privileges to all participants so that y'all, that would be the best button.
I mean, that might be something to leave as a comment to StreamYard. It shouldn't be that hard for them to implement that on the next update.
You can do it in Zoom. And they already have so many things set up in this.
Yeah, they probably maybe just haven't thought about it.
Yeah, we'll have to do a video just for the sidebars. I've written the script for the first spark notes of the first transcript. I have to write the second script, so I'm going to record that so that if you want to catch up, you can watch 5 minutes and catch up for the first transcript, watch 10 minutes probably for the second transcript. This is the second transcript, I think. No, it's the third transcript.
Third.
Yeah, so second transcript and the third transcript. Okay. Hide current. I don't know. I'm waiting for even the juicier parts to come out, but that was interesting what they said that the Young Living oils smelled like they had petroleum. Yeah. Again, Young Living, don't lose your mind. I'm just reading what the person said in the transcript. I'm saying, if true, that is wild. Hi, Ceara. How are you?
Hey. Because I found when I was decluttering, I found from when I was in these.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Ceara, everyone's so excited to see you. Yes, there are 4,000 pages of transcript. Yep.
Threw away the rest. So I have lavender.
Ooh, good.
Thieves.
Nice.
peppermint, 2 peace and calming,
Oh, nice.
which is a blend, I guess, and then lemon.
Yeah.
So
I
I
like
have petroleum right here. I can just...
I wonder. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no.
That's a bummer. I'm sorry, Kira. Oh man. Well, they were fighting like
They were fighting like misbehaved or ill-behaved. I don't know. I don't want to offend Corinthians because Corinthians sounds delightful, but ill-behaved children, not like Corinthians. They were just arguing back and forth.
basically Mr. Gaylord was like, but I said this. I get my turn. Which he does. It just came across very whiny.
Yeah.
Polite demon lawyer couldn't even revive it. It was just very whiny.
I think the biggest thing that was the juiciest part was that the smelling the difference and saying that the Young Living smelled like it had petroleum.
Yeah, because I will
No.
tell you right now, now I'm like scared to smell these.
I don't think I've tried or smelled doTERRA.
I have never smelled doTERRA, so I want to smell doTERRA now because these don't. I mean, this citrus fresh smells good.
No, it's a blend. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. But now
These are probably, I don't even know if they still have, because these were 2017.
Oh yeah.
18. So I don't even know if they still have anything in there or if they like, I don't know if it would get old or what.
I think they do expire. Maybe they don't. I'm not sure. I know they have little codes on them, but I don't know.
It says 1830.
Okay.
So I don't know. Yeah.
Who knows?
18.
doTERRA conventions right now, Carly? Holy cow, really?
And I heard a Modere one too. Or not Modere, Monet.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It was wild. It was
wild. Oh, it's over?
Yeah, I think it's over now.
Oh, okay.
You know, it just was the propaganda. Okay, so they also Monet came out with a hair serum that helps your hair grow back. So I was just jokingly, allegedly saying they caused the problem and they also fixed the problem now. So I know.
Were they already saying that though? Because I know they were going after postpartum women.
Yeah.
For hair loss. So what? They have a new product now because the other one didn't work?
Yeah, I thought their little whatever their Rejuvenique was supposed to fix all that 101 uses, but apparently they had to make a whole new product. So
I think Juice Plus should have their convention next week. Pretty sure.
Really?
Or not next week, next month.
Wow.
Typically in October.
Yeah, if y'all missed it, here are Sky's so cute little illustrations. We got a doTERRA lawyer smashing the we binged. Thank you. We smashing the Young Living lawyer. He's trying to cover the bottle to protect it from getting crushed. We've got these two boxing, doTERRA against Lang Lang. And then we've got these guys. The doTERRA lawyer has a little bottle in his hand, throwing it at this guy who's trying to protect his head. So I need to make them smaller so we can keep them up on the stream. But
those are adorable. So and then add them to the little tabs that come out.
Yep.
That'll be.
I do need to do that.
Oh, Christina says that it smells a lot better. doTERRA smells a lot better than Young Living.
Really
interesting.
I thought, and again, this is me being brainwashed, I guess. I thought the Young Living one smelled better than some I've smelled in the grocery store. But if doTERRA smells better than Young Living, I'm shook. Wow. Yeah, Sky, her Instagram is sunbunnies, SUNBUNNIES, and I will link her Instagram in the description below when I timestamp everything. And she does a lot of illustrations, and she was super, super nice to draw these for us. And I think they're so lighthearted and cute, and
they're adorable.
They're perfect. They're perfect.
You have a lot of skill. That's awesome.
She has some really cool illustrations on her page, so definitely go follow her on Instagram, on Instaspam as I call it. Okay, I've never tried plant therapy because I was brainwashed for a while. So yeah, well.
Oh, is that a brand? The other brand.
Yeah, plant therapy is supposedly a good brand. There's one that actually posts their testing their lab results for their oils that Young Living never will do, which is wild. But
with the pets, and because 3 cats, a dog, and a 10-month-old, I just don't want to bring any in.
Yep, no, that's super smart. And cats are very sensitive. Like there's been some cats that have had really bad reactions to them. And because their olfactory center is even more sensitive than dogs, and then your baby too. Watching people put it on their babies is wild.
No, ugh. I was thinking about this, and it made me really sad. The person who I purchased the kit from, she went out of town one time, and I volunteered to watch her cat. And the cat was having, she had taken it to the vet, but it was having like almost like matting on part of its like back. And it was kind of like oily, like it was coming from the cat though.
Oh no.
And she had said that it was not related to that, but she had oils like going on. And I just hope that, and at that time, like I didn't know, and they were saying that it was safe for cats and dogs, and yeah.
Oh my god.
I honestly don't even know if it's still part of Young Living.
That would just be so devastating to make your floof sick from oils. That would just be
I would throw it out. They are family.
Oh, I bought these Orbeez that get bigger in water. I put them in a container with water, then put whatever oil I want to mix in as a scent beads thingy. That's cool, Christy. That's cool. Trying to find all the lawsuit filings between Young Living and doTERRA. There's 3 of them. Kira, if you I have a lawyer buddy where we don't have to potentially pay for it. So if you need me to pull them, I can ask her to pull them. Wendy, you're the best.
Yeah.
I've downloaded a few, Kira, but we can ask Wendy to see if she can pull them too. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up because there's 30 pages of sidebars. I don't think we're gonna have time. So we gave you a little taste of the arguing, and we'll put out the video for that. And then I need to see if I can live stream on Saturday because I'm gonna go see my dad this weekend. But we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, either one works.
I'm gonna roll the outro, and live chat. You've been incredible. Replay crew. Love you so much. Appreciate the support. If y'all don't already follow Kat, please go follow her on her channel. She will be linked below. I think I inadvertently forgot to link her in some of the other lives, so I'm going to go back and do that on my channel. And I'm just having technical difficulties, but I appreciate the support. And if you've made it this far into the video and you liked the video, we would love the support. It's free to like the video if you liked it. If you hated it, just leave us a mean comment. Don't leave it on Kat's page. Leave her only nice stuff. You can leave mean stuff on my page.
Oh, I don't mind.
We'll catch you on the next live stream. And I don't know. Don't ingest essential oils.
No.
All right. Bye.